What's up, you guys? Sean Sapp. Welcome to Fightful. It is October 7th, 2023. We are here to talk WWE Fastlane. This was a show I was going to attend until about a week and a half ago, and nothing was announced for the show. So I was like, you know what? I'll chill here. An interesting change, though. Just today we found out, oh, yeah, there's going to be a press conference after it was said, probably not doing press conferences for most shows, but considering the fact that Jade Cargill was here, maybe that's an explanation why. Maybe we'll end up seeing her. We will have notes from the presser here, so you ain't going to miss anything. And we got Denise Salcedo, too. Denise, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I had a good time watching Fastlane. I feel like it flew by, man. Like I sat
5
down.
matches.
Right? Oh my God. Like I looked at the card and I'm thinking, okay, we're 3 matches in. I look at the card and I'm going, oh, I'm probably gonna see like maybe 4 more matches or something. And then I'm like, oh shit, there's only 2 matches left. And I kind of forgot because I didn't even count how many matches there were. So it really did fly by like tremendously. I loved it. Very smooth pay-per-view.
Yeah, just a 5-match show, which, surprised a lot of people. It surprised me. Like 6. I was surprised when they went down to that, but I actually like it a lot more. I think that it fits a lot better this way, 5 or 6 matches as opposed to 8 or especially 14. I'm not a 14 match kind of guy like we saw last weekend, even though that was a great show at AEW Wrestle Dream as well. A fantastic show. However, I like this 5-6 match format because if you're WWE, you've also got billion-dollar television deals. So you've got to put stuff like Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa in a 20-minute match on the main event of Raw as well. You've got to give people a reason to watch Raw and SmackDown as well, especially when you're making about the same amount of money for Raw and SmackDown as you are for pay-per-views. So I kind of like this method. I know there were plenty of people who didn't like that Becky and Trish didn't get put on a pay-per-view fairly recently, and I completely understood that around SummerSlam. I know that there were people that didn't like that Gunther and Ciampa didn't get highlighted on Fastlane, but I see the method and I understand why they're doing it, Denise.
And kind of look, I'll be honest, and this kind of pertains a little bit more to WrestleMania, but it's remember when WrestleMania was still just the one night and we started getting those really long shows and we started getting matches that didn't even have to be on the show. It just became a thing where it was, oh, well, we want to get this person on the WrestleMania card. And then now that we're to 2 days, that changes things. But I personally always loved when WrestleMania matches were matches that absolutely had to be on there because that was the storyline, that was the feud that you had been seeing play out through WrestleMania season. So with that being said, I want to see the stories that make sense for the weeks prior leading into whatever pay-per-view we're seeing. I want those matches to be on the show. For example, when we were rolling into SummerSlam and we didn't get Becky and Trish there, that to me didn't make total sense. Why? Because that was a story that we were actually seeing unfold in real time. So for me, as long as we're seeing the story be told in the weeks prior, then I want to see the match on the card. If it's like a sporadic match that really just got made within like the week ahead, really wasn't anything, then yeah, for sure, then maybe don't put it on there. But I do like them keeping it short, keeping it brief, and keeping it with matches that absolutely have to be on the show.
Guys, please leave a thumbs up on this video. Please donate a super chat and or a humper chat. That's how you get your question or statement read here on the air. Don't mind sharing this link on social media either, as sometimes we face the wrath of going early and it won't even let you guys know that we are live until like 11:10. But also, kind of big news coming out of AEW Collision. Big Bill, Ricky Starks. We don't have a Collision review tonight or this weekend because of this show. Big Bill and Ricky Starks squashed FTR. Dax took all the offense. Cash didn't take any. Fightful Selected reported things are fine with FTR and AEW. Dax later clarified that as well before hopefully getting us a couple of subscriptions with the Top Guy outline. But this match was moved around on the card, but we're told that FTR were actually in favor of the decision. this shocked me. I did not expect this at all, Denise.
I know, me too. I was not expecting this either. And to me, like, that was a bigger surprise than the title change that we got here tonight. I was expecting this title change that we got, that we're going to be talking in a second, but I was definitely not expecting Big Bill, Ricky Starks to become tag team champions. But I will tell you, I freaking love it though, because I love the dynamic between Big Bill and Ricky Starks. It's freaking cool to see them just like work together. And I feel like we already know that AEW has something with Ricky Starks, right? That's said and done. We clearly know that this guy is going to be a top guy, right? If you don't already consider him one already. But with Big Bill, they really have something special with Big Bill there. And you were starting to see that kind of early on, just like in the short period of time that he's been with AEW. And so for me, I think that this pairing was a brilliant idea. And now them being a tag team, I feel it's refreshing. It's different. As much as I love FTR and I appreciate their work that they do and what they bring to the tag team division, which is legitimacy and just overall really great, solid in-ring work. I feel that it kind of got a little bit of, okay, we know what the tag team division looks like with FTR as champions. We've seen it, been there, done that, but we have not done that with somebody or a team like Ricky Starks and Big Bill. So I feel like this is the fresh thing that AEW needed.
I agree. Van Twinblade says GCW Fight Club Night 1 was great. I heard a lot of good things out of it. Any guesses for the Crown Jewel card? Makes an awful lot of sense to have an LA Knight pop up over there. That would be him against Roman. I think would be a worthy match. And
you think they'll do it there?
They should. Maybe not there, but also, LA Knight is going to reach a ceiling somehow in booking. Like, he's not going to beat Roman, so I don't mind him possibly losing.
Maybe. And here's something to consider. If not Cody Rhodes, if LA Knight were to lose to Roman Reigns in front of an American audience, and then losing in front of the Saudi Arabian audience, I feel like there would probably be a different reaction, don't you think? So maybe to them, it's a little bit more safer to do that match there and have it be like, okay, he can lose here and it won't get as like ugly as
sure.
I don't know if it'll get ugly.
No, I see what you mean.
Trying to think of a reason.
I for sure see what you mean. WWE brought Jade Cargill to Indianapolis, and as K775 says, did not bring her in front of the audience. She literally showed up backstage and shook Triple H's hand. Now, she looked like $1 million, first off. She looked, this is not a shot at AEW, but like her presentation just right there, that was like celebrity level type of look right there. And walking up to Triple H, she looked so imposing and superstar-esque and all that. This is another great example, and I said last year that they needed to do it with Cody, and they did. These are a couple of different billboards for WWE to say, hey, if you're in AEW and you come over here, this is what we can do for you. Even Brian Pillman Jr., who his deal lapsed with AEW, he didn't jump ship. They're providing him with these vignettes, and they had that bio that they released on him this week, I think USA Network, where they confirmed his signing that really, really put him over. That to a smaller scale, but especially Cody and Jade, WWE is rolling out the red carpet for a lot of the people from AEW to say, come on over here, the grass is greener.
So here's what I think that WWE did with Jade. So you have different types of fans, right? Like, we can't always assume that every fan is, the person that knows everything that's going on with AEW, that knows everything that's going on behind the scenes, that is reading up on all of the little things that the IWC really loves to get into, right? There are a lot of fans that don't watch AEW, that are only WWE fans. There are going to be a lot of people that, don't know who Jade Cargill is or why they should care, right? So WWE could have easily been like, oh yeah, we hired Jade Cargill, and that's it, right? Just leave it at that. But the way that they have been presenting her by doing those commentary videos where they're talking about how they hired her and she was the hottest free agent, and they're showing her getting her name on the headlines of ESPN, Sports Illustrated, TMZ, all of these really big news outlets. And then You also have her come out of this fancy car. Triple H goes up to her to welcome her, shake her hands. You got photographers, videographers out there shooting her. What this tells the person who did not know who Jade Cargill was, or who isn't maybe following up with this, that whoever it is, whoever Jade Cargill is, they should care. That's what WWE did with the presentation of Jade.
Yep, I completely agree. Jade, call me crazy, says, Jade is the type of woman that can kill me. That's hot in a woman. I think she's the next China. Call me crazy, you're wild. But as far as being the next China, I don't think she's going to wrestle men or anything like that. But it certainly is a situation where they can put her in a ring with Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley, and you're going to immediately go, okay, there is something different here. Like there is a physical imposition in which those two have not necessarily met as of yet. And I'm kind of hoping that in the future we see like Rhea, Jade, Bianca, and Raquel in like a 4-way. I think that'd be kind of cool. The meat match for the women.
Yeah, the beefy women.
That's all we need. That's what we need.
Somebody
just asked Io if she wants to wrestle Taylor Swift.
Who should wrestle Taylor Swift?
Somebody asked Io if she should wrestle, or if she wanted to wrestle Taylor Swift.
Wait, someone asked her that in the press conference? Yeah, are you being serious?
It's what's in our chat right now.
No, Sheldon Jackson can't be serious.
Sheldon Jackson gifted 4 YouTube memberships. Paul says, Sean and Denise, hope y'all are both doing well. What's your percentage of CM Punk coming back to WWE? I'm going 50-50, Denise.
I'm going 80-20.
Really?
Yeah, I'm putting a little hope in there. So mine's not just a logic percentage. It's also a hope percentage.
Okay, I was going to say, you got some scoops or something?
I'm not going to give you my scoop, Sean. I'm going to keep my scoops to myself.
Okay.
Hey, do you remember that one time I played a prank on you and I told you I had scoops and then I sent you the Tostito scoops? I peaked after that. That's my favorite Denise and Sean moment.
Yeah. You certainly peaked well before now. Lenny says, did I miss anything special on commentary? I asked because I watched it in Japan through ABEMA for free, courtesy of nordvpn.com/Fightful. Well, you missed Corey Graves and Michael Cole having a full-on debate during the first match ever. But listen, you know the drill. If you want to watch it for free, thanks to nordvpn.com/Fightful. We have your buying pay-per-views on nordvpn.com/Fightful is going to enhance your pay-per-view buying process. Now, one subscription to NordVPN has so many different benefits, but if you're a big pay-per-view buyer like myself, UFC, boxing, pro wrestling, all that good stuff, any combination of the three, if they're doing a fight circus or something like that, this subscription will pay for itself after 1 or 2 pay-per-view buys. Change your virtual location, pay for it at the prices that other people are paying for it in the UK, in Australia, etc., etc. And you can get different interfaces. Maybe you don't like Peacock and you want to check out the WWE Network the way that it used to be, the way that it was designed to be, the easy navigation, so on and so forth. Maybe you want to watch AEW without commercials. Maybe there's some other overseas services that you can't subscribe to and you want access to them. NordVPN.com/Fightful gives you that with a great deal and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Even better, 24/7 tech support, so if you have trouble navigating any of it, they can help you out. Fastest VPN on the planet, NordVPN.com/Fightful. Guys, get in your super chat.
Sorry, Sean.
Let me do my goddamn plug, Denise.
Oh, sorry, we're not done yet.
Get in your super chats. Get in your humper chats. We're about to get into the card. What, Denise?
Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say now that I've been shamed.
My God.
It's probably best
Jey Uso and Cody. Are you going to let me talk? Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes are the new tag team champions. Cody Rhodes couldn't beat him, so he had to join Jey Uso. You know, he couldn't finish his story, so he had to in another way. I just got to say this. The finish of this match was one of the coolest tag team finishers that I've seen. The Usos had long done the 1D, which is the 3D version. But Cody Rhodes added the Cody Cutter to it, and they timed it perfectly. This was smooth. It was clean. It was great, Denise. The match was exciting. A lot of false finishes to where I was like, damn, are like who's going to win this? And I actually was very surprised Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso ended up winning the tag titles, because you just assume they're probably just keeping him busy, right? They're just keeping him busy until until he gets to wherever it is he's going to be. Nope. Cody Rhodes is the tag team champion right now. Your thoughts?
All right, so my thoughts are definitely a little bit different. And with that, I personally thought that this opening match, of course, the ending was great, right? Seeing Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes win, that was phenomenal. The finish, like you said, was absolutely phenomenal too, because it was cool to see that. It was cool to see that executed. However, I did not think this match was necessarily I thought it was a little bit dull in the beginning, because I felt like they kind of wrestled a Raw match. I was really hoping that it picked up a lot faster. To me, this match really kind of was unmemorable until the part where Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio came out, and then everything that followed after that. So from everything after that, that is when I kind of felt like this match really kind of picked up and was fun to watch. Of course, seeing like Jay and Rhea Ripley kind of have a little bit of a moment there was pretty funny too. But I personally kind of felt like it was only the last couple of minutes that was enjoyable, and it's cool. Like I said earlier, I was expecting for this one for the titles to change hand. I wasn't expecting it for the Big Bill Ricky Starks match. So anyways, but I'm happy. I'm excited. I feel like this gives Jay and Cody Rhodes something a little bit more than Cody Rhodes just coming out every single week and saying like whatever he is that he says, and giving them a little bit more something to do on the show, I feel. So I'm liking this, but I did think the opener of this match should have started off a little bit hotter than it did.
I'll tell you a couple reasons why I like this. It gives WWE, even though they did it anyway this past Friday, it gives them the built-in excuse of sending Cody and Jay back and forth to SmackDown. Now, granted, we still don't know who the hell SmackDown got in a trade for Jey Uso, but that was a golden ticket for Judgment Day as well. And when Judgment Day showed up, the whole damn crew showed up, as we saw on Friday. I like that. But also, it gives Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn another reason to side-eye Cody Rhodes right now, because they just swooped in and took the championships that they lost, that they worked hard, that they overcame the Bloodline to get, that they overcame Jey Uso to get. Cody Rhodes just swooped right in and said, come on over, Jay, won the tag titles that were theirs. And meanwhile, where have Sami and Kevin been? Well, Sami's been doing who knows what, and Kevin's been like, no, I don't trust you whatsoever. So from that aspect of things, I'm like, okay, are we going to get like Sami and Kevin against Jay and Cody at Crown Jewel?
I hope so. I think that would be a really fun, little star-studded matchup for sure.
I think that'd be great. I think that's one that you should do in a pay-per-view. And they really have highlighted tag team wrestling as far as marquee. Like, we had a tag title match headline a pay-per-view. We had several big tag matches tonight between the 6-man tag, the tag title, the LA Knight and John Cena thing. It seems like very much they're trying to go back to that. When we put two big stars together, it means something, like when Hogan and Warrior teamed up, or Hogan and Savage, etc. Like, it seems like they really want to do that. The Judgment Day story, even though they've been involved with the same people over and over again, I'm still interested in it because Rhea and Dom and Damian Priest and Finn Balor do such a good job. As overexposed as they should be to me, considering that they appear on every damn show, they keep me interested. Also, I didn't get to say this on, I think it was SmackDown maybe, JD McDonough taking that Crossroads is one of the most psycho sells I have ever seen in my life. He took it one way and then his body bounced the other way. I mean, listen,
Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Take your finger off the mouse. Control yourself, Sean. Damn it, you did it.
Listen, I'm just saying. Will Chisholm says the title change is putting Cody closer and closer to Roman. I do think it is putting him closer and closer to Roman. It's getting Cody on the show that Roman is on too. So Why wouldn't Jey Uso and Cody be on this Friday's season premiere of SmackDown?
I'm assuming they have to be, right?
Yeah, I'll be on that post show for a while, by the way, guys. But very, very interesting here. And also backstage, Damian Priest is like, I'm not leaving this show empty-handed. I'm going to cash in Money in the Bank tonight. And Rhea Ripley's like, nope, you're too banged up. This is not the time. Got to be smart about it. Rhea called the shot here and made him give her the briefcase. What did you think about that?
Well, Rhea Ripley she's the leader, man. She's dominating. We were seeing her definitely execute her power last night on SmackDown. And I will tell you, and I know we'll talk more about this later, but I was going back and forth with this Damian Priest situation. So last night on SmackDown, they did a little tease, right? They had Damian Priest watching the video package when they were promoting Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And when I saw that tease, I'm like, Damian Priest is not going to cash in. Now that they're trying to make us think that he's definitely not going to cash in, right? When they did this backstage segment where all of a sudden Rhea Ripley took the briefcase and he was to her and all of this, I started to think, are they trying to get me to think otherwise now? And so after that little backstage scenario, I actually thought that there was going to be a little bit of a chance that Damian Priest might actually come out. So I felt like they had me kind of going back and forth from SmackDown to today.
Yeah. I just think that Judgment Day has done an incredible job keeping me interested. Rock Hard Joel Wood says, which would be bigger, Adam Copeland in AEW or CM Punk in WWE?
CM Punk in WWE.
I think CM Punk in WWE as well. Yeah, just because of the stage that he would be on as well. I mean, Adam Copeland in AEW is phenomenal, but yeah.
Also the history, the ugly history between both of them and how adamant CM Punk was that he was never going to return to wrestling and of course never return to WWE. And because of how ugly things got between them, I just don't ever I never thought we were going to see CM Punk back in wrestling, period.
Sure.
And even when he came back to AEW and everything that played out, I still didn't actually think that he would ever go to WWE ever again because of that bad blood. So for me, I'm looking at that and I'm going, holy smokes, we're sitting here in a time period where there is a pretty damn good shot we might be seeing CM Punk in WWE once again. And a couple years ago, even last year, would have never thought it.
Yeah, they did have bad blood, but you never know. It could turn into mad love, Denise. Anyway, Aiden O'Donnell says Cody Rhodes now won a set of WWE tag titles in 3 separate decades. Wow, he did. He did. Do you think Cody or Rock?
Say that again?
In 3 different decades, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s.
Oh,
Cody
shit.
Rhodes has won tag team titles.
Oh, shit.
And I mean, yeah, that is pretty wild. So do you think Cody or Rock are more likely to face Roman at Mania? Based on what I heard about how happy The Rock looked at that recent SmackDown appearance, which, by the way, was broken by FightfulSelect.com, the best $5 in the business. I'm about to brag about that a lot. I think it's possible The Rock faces him. But then again, I've fallen for that trick multiple times, Denise.
I think it is going to happen. I already have my whole plan laid out, bro. We're definitely going to see both. I'm expecting to see Cody and Roman and also freaking Roman and Rock. Well, actually, first Rock and Roman and then Cody and Roman for the 2 nights.
Can you name all 3 people that Cody Rhodes won the tag team titles with?
I suck at
WWE?
Trivia. I'm the worst trivia person ever. Bro,
Jey
I don't even get security questions right.
Jey Uso, Goldust, and Drew McIntyre. I also spoke to the former Damian Sandow recently about teaming with Cody. You guys should check that out. So before the show, we saw Jade Cargill, who, FightfulSelect.com, best $5 in the business, best $54 a year in the business if you want to subscribe for a full year. We broke that she was leaving AEW for WWE. Then we had the opening match, the tag team title match, which FightfulSelect.com tonight broke the news that it was kicking off the show. By God. And then after that, FightfulSelect.com this evening broke the news that Carlito is back officially. He'd been signed for a long time, but he was Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar's partner. Now, there are so many issues that I had with this. First off, everybody in this match can work their asses off, but why is Carlito showing up like 9-10 minutes into this match?
Thank you.
What
Thank
was he?
you.
What
Did
was
they give
he
an explanation?
No, hell no, they didn't give an
That's what
explanation.
I thought. I missed the explanation.
They said that Ray put in a call and he said it wasn't answered, but he's confident that person would be there. Why was he so confident that Carlito would be there if Carlito didn't answer the phone? Also, other issues. Like, come on, are we to believe that Carlito, like, maybe his flight was so late that he happened to get there like 9 minutes into the match, but not in time to do the match? No, we saw him in there huffing and puffing. We saw him in there not that eager to do wrestling moves. That guy was like, let me roll in here, hit my backstabber, and GTFO, bro. Like, he was there to take the glory, and that's it. He gets the win, but the most controversial aspect of this is his new music, Denise, universally hated on the Twitter X. It wasn't good, Denise.
So here's the thing. When I was watching this, I was waiting for, I was looking at this and I was waiting for his entrance, right? I was waiting for it. And when he didn't come out, I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Like, what's happening? Why wouldn't he come out right now? Like, this did not make any sense to me. And then, we go on and we're watching a 3-on-2 and I'm thinking, oh no, like the way that they're going to do this is kind of lame because it's not like we didn't know that there was going to be a mystery person, right? Coming in to help him out. This has been promoted. And so I did not like the way that he didn't come out right at the beginning. I think for me, that was definitely sort of an issue. I thought he looked good, like physically speaking. I thought he looked great. He's got a lot of muscle, looked really built. I didn't see the apple. Did you see the apple? Did he have an apple?
Didn't see the apple. Didn't see an apple.
Didn't do the apple, right? No apple. Kind of a bummer. I like the apple. And then as for the match itself, I'm sorry, but there was only a couple of good moments during this, but nothing that was too memorable for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he's back, but I'm just like, this wasn't I didn't think this was a fantastic introduction from the way that they did it to the performance in the ring to the music. The music was horrible. Music sucked. Not good. But FightfulSelect.com reported a little something else tonight. Best $5 in the business. Please subscribe. Odyssey Jones has been discussed as possibly joining the Bobby Lashley Street Profits group. It isn't guaranteed anything like that. I saw people throwing around saying, oh, well, tonight. Nope. Just has been discussed lately. That's about it. What would you think about Odyssey Jones joining this group?
I love Odyssey Jones, and they haven't done anything with him. Is he on NXT? He's still on NXT, right? Because he hasn't even came out on NXT.
He got drafted to Raw, and then in August, Fightful Select, best $5 in the business, please subscribe, reported there were no significant creative plans for him. And around that time, they were just like, hey, you're going to come over here to SmackDown and do some dark matches. And that's about it.
I completely did not even remember that he was drafted. Like, completely zipped away, gone. Did not even remember because I have not seen or heard anything of Odyssey Jones on the programming at all, man. So I do hope that this is a situation where he does align with them. Plus, you can get a nice beefy man. I like that. I think it fits in very nicely with the group.
We got Cal saying what everybody is texting me right now. Jey Uso is so drunk at this press conference.
In a good way or in a bad way? Like drunk, woo, party, or drunk like, oh no, bud, don't be on that.
One of my friends just texted me and said, Ray knows Carlito always checks his voicemails, I guess. Crazy says,
still leaving voicemails?
I don't check. I don't even have mine set up. You can't even leave me a voicemail.
I do hate voicemails. There's nothing worse than checking a voicemail. It gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Leave a text. Crazy 101 says, respectfully, Collision was better. Right? To each their own. I haven't got to watch all of Collision yet. Call Me Crazy said WWE and CM Punk are going to have crazy makeup sex.
Oh, what?
Jesus
Why
Christ.
are we talking about this?
Well, listen, guys, if you want to have a wonderful makeup sex, do it in your Helix bed. When I'm traveling, the thing I miss the most is my bed. That's because I've got a Helix Sleep mattress. I worked with Helix Sleep before it ever became helixsleep.com/Fightful. During the pandemic, I needed a new mattress. My back was hurting. I was sleeping on a slab of memory foam. It was not working for me, but I didn't want to go to a mattress store. I wouldn't have wanted to even if it was the pandemic at the time. But I looked up and found helixsleep.com/Fightful. And I found a ton of 5-star reviews. I found a ton of benefits. There are so many different options. There are options for people who sleep too warm, people that want their spine aligned, people who want just anything. And how do you find what you need from helixsleep.com/Fightful? You take an online questionnaire, and when you fill it out, they will find your preferences and match you up to the mattress that works for you. I got the Dusk Luxe model, and right now you can get 25% off any purchase for a limited time using the code FIGHTFUL, and you get 2 free dream pillows. I've had a lot of neck issues, and helixsleep.com/Fightful has really helped me out in this regard. It's been put over by Wired, GQ, Good Housekeeping, all kinds of people, most importantly, Fightful. But they have over 30,000 5-star reviews. They have great flexible financing plans, and it comes straight to your door. If you don't like it, after 100 nights, they'll just come get it for you. What do you have to lose? Invest in your sleep. helixsleep.com/Fightful. At the post-show presser, John Cena did admit if the SAG-AFTRA strike ends, he's got to go. Like, he's got to leave. I can tell you WWE is not concerned about him not making any advertised dates. They believe that he'll do that, but he said that he had to stop a project right in the middle of it. Denise, you live quite literally in the thick of where everything is. Like, I know you also have plenty of contacts that are around that as well. I mean, this is an enormous deal.
It's a big deal, and it's really, really messed up. We're only seeing the outside portion of it, right? Whatever you see on the news, social media, and all of that. But I have a lot of friends who are actors, and a lot of friends that, they're not, rich or anything like that. And I have friends that are literally on the verge of losing their homes. They can't pay their rents. Like, this is not an exaggeration by any means. These are real freaking problems. And it's really sad because I know a lot of people that were on the precipice of having really cool opportunities, and all of that being completely taken away. And they can't take any jobs. They can't do anything. And they're, working other jobs to try to obviously make means meet, right? But nothing is worse, Sean, than having to not be able to pursue your passion and feel like all of this time is being taken away from you. And so to anybody that is dealing with this, it sucks, especially for those that are not, in a place financially where they can support themselves and support their passion. So I really feel for those people, and I really hope that they settle this, man, and that they help them out. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
We've got N. Simmons says Jey Uso is drunk. It's awkwardly hilarious because he's trying to sound sober. I gotta watch this press conference. I'm
surprised they put him out there like that. They're usually a little bit more on top of those things.
Listen, Denise, I think they probably had a couple on the bus.
Oh, okay.
The bus. And Denise knows what I mean.
Stop it, Sean. I saw you give me the eyes. You looked at me like, the bus.
Denise is toasted just hearing about the bus. Oh my God. TNA for life. Listen, I love to hear this. Says, Sean, I legit got a Helix Plus mattress because of you, and it changed my life. Seriously, man, thank you. No, I'm dead serious. When the pandemic happened and you're at home all the time, I was on like a crappy piece of memory foam, and my back was all jacked up. My lower back especially was jacked up because it didn't have the right support. So I was like, I got to find the right thing, and I found Helix. And then I told them what it did for me, and they're like, hey, let's work together. And I mean, we've worked together every year since then, and we're about to renew for 2024. So very, very excited about that. Apex Caliber says, I think the spite will make Punk make peace with WWE. I mean, I hope so. I hope so, for the love of God. But oh, man, it was rough to see things end with AEW the way that they did.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Io Sky defeated Asuka and Charlotte right out of the gate. Asuka rather, missed Charlotte, and it takes her out of the early part of the match. It took a while for the crowd to get into this match. Eventually, they did, and I actually loved the finish. I thought that it was really, really good. Io did not want Bayley involved in this match, and how many times have we seen this situation play out to where Bayley or somebody like Bayley would get involved and cost Io the match on accident, and Io would be frustrated. Anyway, Bayley repeatedly helps Io, bails her out, and the only time a distraction makes sense in a triple threat match was right here, because it wasn't a distraction to like help somebody interfere. No, it was to stop a tap out, because the referee didn't see the tap out. And while that happened, Io landed a beautiful moonsault and got the win. I thought that was phenomenal. I love the finish, love the integration of Bayley. Dakota is there at the press conference with Io and Bayley as well. I love that she's staying involved as well. What do you think about this match?
I loved this match. I thought that this match had the best start, aside from the main event, of course. But this one, to me, they started it off hot. I love that because I thought that the first two matches started super, super just like generic. Like, I'm like, bro, this is a pay-per-view. This is Fastlane. Like, we got to start moving a little faster, honestly. So for me, I thought that this this triple threat match was really freaking entertaining to watch. And I was going into this really hoping that Io Sky would retain. And when she did, I was so thrilled. But I will tell you this, when Bayley came out, when she was kind of like touching her head, that part where she was kind of touching her head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to smash her head into the ring apron. She's going to slap her. She's going to do something. I was really expecting to see Bayley turn on Io Sky. And so they kind of made me nervous. And when she actually helped her out and she helped her get the win, I'm looking at this and I'm going, damn, Bayley surprised me, genuinely surprised me. And even afterwards, when she was celebrating and hugging her, and even Io had this very surprised look on her face, I was still expecting Bayley to do something to her. So Bayley really got me on the edge of my nerves here. But in particular, why I loved this match so much is while watching this match, I realized that I'm a big fan of triple threat matches. I always find myself enjoying them. And part of the reason is that I feel like there's always little surprises in the way that they do things. They got very creative. I loved a lot of the camera work during this match. There was a moment where like Asuka was on fire, she had a lot of time with Io Sky during this match, and it was when Charlotte was out, and when she came back in, and when she got that boot on Asuka. I love that because I didn't even know Charlotte was getting back into the ring. So the boot really came out of nowhere for the viewers and for Asuka. So personally, there was little things that they did in this match that you can do because it is a triple threat match. Like there was a one point where it was Io. Io was in there with Asuka, and it looked like she was gonna hit the ropes, come back, and take out Asuka. But instead of hitting the rope, she went through the ropes and then took out Charlotte on the outside. So it was little things like that that really moved and made this match a lot more memorable. So I really did enjoy this match a whole lot.
K775 says, do you think we see Kyrie before Survivor Series? Think we see some other new signings soon? Kyrie, I mean, is she's headed there? I think so, yeah. AOP are the other ones that...
What's up with them?
They've been signed forever. They've been signed for a long time. They were on travel lists back in May, FightfulSelect.com reported. Who the hell knows? Listen, I know they got some heat with some people in the company too.
Over what?
For outside ventures, that doomed thing that they did last year. That show they tried to put on in the UK, and they owed a lot of people money.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And for their NFT project. I mean, people that have literally been signed. Naya, I'm pretty sure they owed her money. Call Me Crazy says, I want a fatal four with Kyrie, Asuka, Io, and Zaya. I don't know if Zaya's quite ready for that, but I mean, listen, if you got 3 women that can certainly make up for that, it would be those 3. Call Me Crazy says, Jay for World Heavyweight Champion after this show. Well, Denise.
What was that? I want to watch it again.
That was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
He's having a good time. Good for him. He's having a good time.
Oh boy. Just wonderful.
I don't think I know what he said, by the way, but it was funny.
I cannot wait to watch this press conference.
I'll see the clips on Twitter.
Matthew England says, can you quickly explain the reason for the strike? Studios were not paying streaming residuals for actors, wanted to replace some actors and writers with AI for perpetuity. Unions and actors didn't like that, helped lead to the strike, among other things, job security, wages, and again, a thing that WWE wrestlers have had issues with, their cut of streaming. Like, for example, something completely unrelated, but I don't know if you guys remember when Chappelle's show popped up on Netflix a few years ago. And it was after Dave Chappelle had reached his deal with Netflix for new stand-ups. And he went to Netflix and he goes, I'm not getting paid shit for this, right? Like for this, my old show being on here. And he's like, that's a problem for me. And that's a problem for our deal. And they reached a deal because he's Dave Chappelle. Unfortunately, not everybody's Dave Chappelle. They can't get that. So, yeah.
I think the AI stuff is so freaking scary, man. I see pictures that people post of AI. And if they didn't put in the comments, oh, this is AI, I don't think I would have even known. There's some that just look real legit.
I mean, I saw where Mr. Beast was being used for ads that he had no idea about because of AI.
Oh, hell no. I would be so pissed.
Speaking of Dave Chappelle, this is what we're going to be saying about Seth Rollins later.
His bad back? Doctor said I need a backiotomy. Doctor said I need a...
It's coming. It's coming. Pat McAfee was at the show at 4 p.m. Eastern. He was in Texas, Denise, doing College Game Day.
What's the flight for that like?
Hell if I know.
Texas to Indianapolis? Isn't it like up?
Yes,
really bad at geography.
It's a good 2.5 hour flight.
But it's up, right? It is, right?
Up.
Okay, just making sure.
It's about a 2.5 hour flight. I'm sure he's got private or whatever, but he showed up midway through the show. He wants a WrestleMania in Indianapolis. I say screw London. Go to Indianapolis. They haven't had a WrestleMania in 31 years. They did have a Super Bowl about 11 years ago, though. What about you, Denise? Would you like an Indianapolis WrestleMania?
Over London?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's cheaper to fly to Indianapolis and shorter flight. And also, I feel like it would be, I'm assuming things are cheaper in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is a very, well, all things considered, as far as major cities go, a much more affordable area. I mean, I'm partial to it because it's 3 hours up the road from me, so that's nice. But yeah, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, pretty affordable areas.
Yeah, see, I would prefer that, honestly. I mean, London's great, but it's too far. It's too far.
Will Chisholm says, this match was great, talking about Io, Asuka, and Charlotte. Now Asuka's going to have a banger with Roxanne. WWE has been hitting on their triple threats this week. Oh,
damn
yeah, they
right.
should have been.
Damn right.
Speaking of hitting on things, Matthew England says, what will it take for Denise to review Naked Attraction? Here's an exclusive for your $10 tier. Denise, you finally watched it. I discovered it in London. I got back from a bike ride at midnight, and my wife and I rolled into the room, and I was like, what were you watching? And it was just on TV, just regular ass TV at like midnight.
So I watched it. I watched 2 episodes. I don't know how I made
just
it.
one.
I don't
You
know
can't
how I
watch
made
just
it.
one.
And here's the mistake that I made. I was having a really bad day, Sean, and I'm like, I need to relax. I need something that's going to make me laugh because I'm having the worst freaking day of my life. And so I decided to put Naked Attraction. But as I was doing that simultaneously, I was like, I'm going to go get a little popsicle. I'm going to sit down on my little couch and watch some TV. So I sit down, right? And within 10 seconds in, I'm like, I can't eat while I'm watching this show. This is disgusting. And I thought that it was funny as hell. But Lord, I would never do that because it is so messed up. The people in the little cubes, in the little boxes, and then the person going up and talking about every little inch of their body. Like, that is so horrible. It's horrifying. And here's the thing, the best part of this, though, there's two things that I really loved about the show. One, I was surprisingly wrong on all the people that I thought were going to get chosen by the person.
Really?
I was wrong. I guessed them all wrong. Two, though,
right.
I really loved the fun facts. The fun facts were great. I was looking at that and I was going, that's interesting.
All the sex education on the show?
Yes. I learned why men love butts. I had no idea. Though they explained it.
Denise? Why is it, Denise?
So they explained, I'm not going to explain it as properly as they did, but they said that the curvature, whatever, of the spine and the booty, it kind of reminds men of a woman when she is pregnant because it has the same curve. So basically what it is, when guys are attracted to women's asses, they're secretly attracted into wanting them to be the mother of their children and make babies.
That is the biggest load of horse shit.
They said it. Aren't they like experts?
Listen, I'm just going to say they're lying.
There's no way I see it. I think it's like a subconscious thing.
I do not want kids now, ever, have never wanted kids. But I love ass, Denise. And that ain't why.
Maybe it's your subconscious. Maybe you're subconscious.
Nope. None.
I think all the guys here are just mad, but this is what the science.
What are you talking about?
This is what the science experts say.
They're wrong.
Okay?
They're wrong.
Experts, whatever.
Listen, I did my own research. They're wrong.
You know, I said that yesterday to my husband because I was doing some research on something. I'm like, I did my research. And he goes, okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So that was my new name. There was some other things, but I don't remember the rest of them. But there were some interesting ones. But that's why you guys like butts. Hey, I don't like man butts. I ain't trying to get no man babies.
That's not right. Not right at all.
Dude, they explained it. You don't believe me? Watch the episode. No. I ain't making this up.
John Cena and LA Knight defeated the Bloodline. This match could have been like 7 minutes shorter. I just want to say sincerely, John Cena is not good anymore in the ring. And this was a lot of John Cena getting his ass whipped before LA Knight showed. Yeah. Before LA Knight got tagged in. LA Knight also rolled up driving about 234 miles an hour in a Slim Jim car. You couldn't catch me dead in one of those things. Okay, you know what? Honestly,
Mike, is it ugly or it's too fast?
If you paid me as much as what LA Knight is getting paid, maybe I'd pass on the Ford Bronco and go with the Slim Jim vehicle. But listen, I'll tell you one thing about butts. You ain't getting no butt driving that Slim Jim car. Not a scrap of butt to be seen near that vehicle at all. You got a Slim Jim wrap on your car, you're making a lot of money, but you got other problems that are ahead for you. That much I assure you. Regardless, John Cena and LA Knight defeated the Bloodline. Call Me Crazy says if they do LA Knight versus Roman at Crown Jewel, I want Knight to win it. It'd be a shock win, I know, but we haven't had something like this for a while. Knight gets pops as loud as Dom's boos. I don't think there is a chance in hell that they move the title off of 38-year-old Roman Reigns and move it on to 40-something-year-old LA Knight as the new guy that that is a 41-year-old, by the way, by the time that match happens. I don't think that's going to happen. What did you think of this match, Denise? Because it was fine. The crowd was for it, but it was a little long for my liking.
I completely agree. I'm sorry, but the John Cena portion of this match, I love John Cena and I want to see him as much as we possibly can, but this was rough. There was too much. I get it. You know, obviously you're trying to sell that you're going to get the hot tag in on LA Knight. We get it. We know how it works, but this was just too long. And I didn't even think the beatdown was that great because both Solo Sikoa and Jimmy took turns beating down John Cena. And I didn't think it was that great for John Cena to act like he couldn't even move one little tiny muscle.
John Cena for him being an honest to God actor, he does a lot of like overacting that really undermines everybody else around him. And it happens all the time. And I feel like John Cena used to get criticized so much that people online are very hypersensitive to him getting criticized. But the reality is there's plenty of shit to criticize him about. And, you know, maybe it's because he hasn't wrestled in a very, very long time. But my God, he does a ton of overacting. And I'm just sitting here like, it's kind of like, was he that excited that LA Knight was going to be his partner? He's John Cena. Ashante the Adonis was not the only person that was going to volunteer to be his partner. There would be others. I mean, Carlito took a picture with him backstage. By the way, look out, John! The guy had you stabbed 19 years ago. What are you doing? I don't know, Denise.
So, look, once LA Knight went in there, this match definitely picked up and it ended up being perfectly okay. It wasn't super amazing by any means, but it was fine. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible at all. I didn't think anything on the show was horrible. I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, same. Infamous Raider Loco says, just jumped in. WTF is going on about Denise with butts. Laughing emoji. Had to say what's up to you both. John did say in the press conference he ain't the same. Well, he's not. But, I mean, he also is a big star. It is, and that is objective. Him being a part of the show, to me, better than him not being a part of the show. And it is nowhere near the point of him overacting or not being good in the ring to where I'm like, you know what, this show would be better off without John Cena. I think it is way better for him to be involved with the show.
Agreed.
Keon Harvey says, hey, Sean, was there live, enjoyed the show. It was amazing. I was glad to see Pat there. How do both of you guys feel overall? 1 out of 10. I would say a good...
a 6 for me.
Yeah, I'd say a 6.5 out of 10. Like, it was fun. It was an okay show. I
think had the first 2 matches started off a little bit hotter, it would have been a vast improvement. And had they trimmed down that tag team match, vast improvement. And had we maybe seen Jade on the show or some little surprise or something, it would have definitely added that extra little sprinkle to the show.
Daniel says, Sean, non-wrestling question. Have you watched the show Gen V? It's a spinoff of The Boys. It's very good in my opinion. No, but I am familiar with what you mean. I think Lizzie Broadway is a really, really good actress. I think she is super talented, but I have not seen it. I saw the show promoted when I was looking for a couple other shows, but haven't seen it. Actually, one of the good things about Peacock, I don't know if you know this, Denise. Do you ever watch movies on Peacock?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
They got the little Rotten Tomato number gimmick up there.
Yeah, I've seen that. They've had that for a while.
That is very helpful in finding movies that aren't utter dog shit on that platform.
Yeah, because I used to just go on the app and check there. But you know what I love, though? Amazon Prime, though. Amazon Prime has the X-ray. I love the X-ray.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful, too. Tracy says, I love that Paul's going gray, showing his stress. Yes, they highlighted that. I guess they said, hey, maybe don't color your hair. And Paul was going gray, and he's also relaying information to Roman Reigns. Now, it's funny because I saw somebody on Twitter say, well, where is he this whole time? I think legitimately he's chilling on his island. Like, that's it. That's where he's supposed to be. Like, within the context of this story, he's going to be there Friday.
So within the context of the story, he's chilling in his island.
chilling on his island.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought you meant like in real life, like he was chilling in his island. I'm like, he has an island?
It
What?
doesn't have Peacock. It doesn't have Peacock. Guys, please leave a thumbs up. Get your super chats, get your humper chats in. We are at the main event. A main event that I thought was really good, and I thought Damian Priest might still cash in Money in the Bank. One of my favorite parts about this main event was when Michael Cole was like, Corey, will you talk some sense into Seth Rollins? You've known him for 10 years. Corey's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Then he does try to talk some sense into Seth Rollins. He's like, Seth, get out from there. What good does this do? This was Nakamura whipping Seth Rollins' ass for a very long time. Dare I say the best spots of Nakamura's WWE career happened in this match. The Falcon arrow that happened to him, but the double knee drop through the table to the outside was insane. I was like, what the hell are we doing here? I loved it.
I loved it too, but it was brutal because when he like landed, he had so much momentum and the table was so close to like the barricade. He didn't have like that much space. So I felt like he just went like face first into that thing, man. Bro, my kneecaps hurt after that. Personally, I felt like that was more painful for him than it was for Seth Rollins. I loved it, but it was brutal. It was a brutal spot.
It was. I loved the side slam on the chair. I thought that was a really, really good spot as well. Call Me Crazy said Corey Graves said that Seth was living life on the edge of a lightning bolt, which CM Punk has said before. I don't know, man. So I was told that a couple of the references that have been on TV weren't intentional. There's no way you can tell me that Corey Graves's are not intentional. Like it's repeated. However,
Did they ever mend their former friendship, or are they still on bad terms?
I mean, I can say this because he went on the record about it. Corey Graves was the first person that ever went on the record to Fightful about an exclusive story like that, because he had tweeted about it the night of one of Punk's fights. And I said, do you want to tell me your side? And he said, yep, let's do it. And he highlighted a lot of the issues that they had. So I don't know. I know that Punk alienated a lot of people. And something that I had mentioned on Fightful Select, Punk was even like as recent as last year when people would bring up Triple H, he would not say nice things backstage at AEW. So we had a massive report on that on Friday. Yeah, Friday. For those of you who didn't see it, like a really, really good in-depth report on all the CM Punk stuff. Miguel says Seth's table spot had the most perfect cut on Impact. One of the benefits of having that good production team right there. Eventually, he does win. No Damian Priest cash in. And KE775 says, who's next for Seth? Drew, Bronson, Punk, Ricochet. I don't think Punk. I don't think Ricochet. I think maybe Bronson has been picking up some wins. I could see Triple H trying to heat him up. But I just hope that it is somebody who's been heated up. What do you think, Denise?
I was going to say, I've been thinking right now, no names really pop into mind. I do like your Bronson Reed idea, but I don't think they've done enough to really heat him up. So he still feels very kind of far from that. So I really can't think of somebody else that I would put in that spot right now.
Yeah, they got to heat somebody up significantly here. What did you think of the match itself? I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was one of Nakamura's best. He even went for the vintage right in the penis.
Hey, Sean, you remember? Remember the time that I eliminated?
Cam says, I don't know if someone has asked this yet, but with all these references, would it be company malpractice if Punk doesn't show up? Denise, no, I don't think it'd be promotional malpractice if Punk didn't show up, because also everybody knows the history with Punk. In fact, a quote in the story that I ran on Fightful Select was, he knows he can't pull that bullshit here because he'll get his ass beat. When it's as transparent as that, I think plenty of people know, you know what, if they decide not to bring in Punk, we get why.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting quote for sure. When I saw that, I was like, that's interesting. It's an interesting thing to say. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but
private chat.
Close. Okay. Close to what I thought.
Listen, a pretty good moral compass, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That person.
Definitely.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely different from what I was expecting, but close. Back to where I was going now with this. Oh, the match. You asked me about the match with Shinsuke and Seth.
Sure.
For me, the parts that I thoroughly enjoyed was all of the table spots that Seth Rollins went through. Because of course, he had the back thing. That's been a major part of the storyline. So him getting put, I think he got put like, God, I wish someone would have timed this, but the amount of tables he got put during this short period of time, it was the spot with the one where the knee spot on freaking the first one, and then there was the one on the commentary table, then there was one inside the ring. There was quite a few actually that went down like very, very fast, and so that for me was something that kind of stood out that I enjoyed. All of the kendo stick shots, that was fun too. Always something cool to see in a last man standing, something that you see all the time. I felt like, I'm going to be honest, I thought that a lot of the last man standing match, there was nothing that I saw that was entirely different from other last man standing matches, or even just like your generic hardcore matches. I mean, personally, I did think that they could have had something that felt a little bit more, something we hadn't seen before to really make you remember this match. Like, I'm not going to remember this match moving forward in a couple of years when I look back. And so I don't think that was necessarily the goal. You want to remember a match like this. And to me, there was just a lot of stuff that was it was a great match. It was fun. I'm excited when I say great. I thought it was a really good match, but I don't necessarily think it had that ingredient that made it a great match that I'm going to remember so much down the line.
Guys, please remember, leave a thumbs up. Marquise Films hits us with a very generous super chat. Says, Wesley would be great for the group. What exactly is Creative doing? Profits lost 2 weeks ago. Thought it was going to lead to something bigger, but the loss tonight shows that Creative is outright fumbling the bag. Well, my hope is that, especially after Lashley had indicated his displeasure with them losing, is where he's like, no, we got to get back to basics. You use this as a catalyst for something greater, especially a new group like Lashley and Street Profits. They need that. Now, I also do understand why they were like, okay, Carlito's got to win because he's coming back and you got to give these guys wins. But you can't just bring in a new group like Lashley, Dawkins, and Montez and then have them lose all the time. Can't have it do it all the time, Denise.
Yeah, of course. You definitely can. So I also wasn't sure if we were going to see the Damian Priest cash in afterwards. I was kind of hoping for it just a little bit, but once we got into the Seth Rollins celebration where I saw where he was celebrating, I'm like, oh yeah, the way that this is not looking like we're going to see a cash in from Damian Priest here. So they did kind of swerve me a little bit back and forth with what the way that they were promoting Damian Priest, whether or not he would cash in the briefcase.
I agree with people in the chat. Drew McIntyre would be a good one for Seth Rollins at this point.
He's the easy person, right? No matter what. Drew McIntyre has gotten to a point where even if he hasn't been hot shit, like, the last couple of weeks, whatever, doesn't matter. He's Drew McIntyre. You can still put him in those spots.
Especially with his current character. Fastlane, the highest grossing WWE gate ever in Indianapolis. Triple H said that he messaged Edge that he was happy for him for joining AEW. He thought that Adam Copeland was taking the opportunity that was best for him. There's a lot of young talent looking for his spot. I mean, looking for his spot. He wasn't on TV for the last 4 or 5 months. They've taken his spot. Will Chisholm wraps this up and says, SRS, are you 50-50 with Punk joining WWE? Yeah, that is exactly what I am. I'm 50-50. I've been given real reason to think that they hadn't really talked as of a couple weeks ago. But since then, who knows? Also says, I love Cody putting over Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I mean, this is in the documentary, but it's something that we broke on FightfulSelect.com. Carmelo Hayes was one of the people that Cody asked to have work with him at the Performance Center when he was getting cleared for his return at the Royal Rumble. We've got N. Simmons saying, is Ricochet legit injured? He just disappeared. He has not been on the loops the last couple of weeks. He lost his match to Nakamura via DQ, but other than that, he hasn't been working. So I'll see what I can find out. Infamous Raider Loco says, not mad at John Cena and Mello's corner, but I honestly thought it would have been Bobby and continued that. He's being called up. What's the delay? They got to have a spot for him. I know Triple H doesn't want to just call people up just to call them up, because there were a lot of people that were like that, and he doesn't want that to become the thing.
God, look at who we were just talking about, Odyssey Jones.
Yep, there you go.
Perfect example right there. God, even Johnny Gargano, well, Johnny Gargano is different, right? But still.
I mean, not that different. They brought him back and they didn't have shit for him.
True. So I feel like right now, with the way that things are going for NXT, I don't know if that would be so entirely desperate to get out of NXT. Like maybe you might have been before. I don't know if I would be like, oh, that's it. I want to go around and want to go to the main roster. I feel like I'm chill. I'm chill right now in NXT.
We've got Call Me Crazy saying, I wonder if WWE is interested in Tekla from Stardom. I haven't heard anything about that at all. I mean, I can try to find out, but I haven't heard anything to that. I mean, they've always got their eye on any number of people. Mike the Jeweler actually wraps us up. He sent a big one and says, haven't seen Fastlane soon, or I haven't seen Fastlane yet, but here to support. Always thankful for the great work Fightful does. Nice to see you on Wrestle Talk, Denise. Were you on Wrestle Talk recently?
We did like a new series that I shot in London. Yeah.
SRS got something for you soon. CM Stabby to WWE soon. I think it's possible, but we'll see. About to light one up. It's 420 somewhere. Mike, it's always great to see you. Always love hearing from you. And Tracy says, Sean, any word on Sammy? I mean, I don't think it's an accident that he's been gone the last couple of weeks. I've asked if he's injured or if he's sidelined or anything like that, but haven't been given any words since that tag team title match, which was phenomenal. But if he's not on Raw, I'll definitely be pushing a little bit harder on that. Denise, tell the people where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. That's the place to be. All of my streams and everything gets promoted on there. Interviews, you name it, it's on there. YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. All of the social medias @_Denise Salcedo.
Guys, do us a little favor here on Fightful. Head over to Spotify. Leave us a nice review there. Even if you don't listen on Spotify, it helps people find us an awful lot. Also, send a nice little tweet to our sponsors, even if you haven't used them, and just let them know you heard about them from us. Until next time, we're out.